Alright, hopefully this one doesn't take 3 hours. Right, back button. 18th February, 12:52 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. What on earth just happened in there? Mr. Naruto, I managed to find out what happened. Mr. Sato, I was told of this advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use. They're making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who would have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear. A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was talking about? My thoughts exactly. She wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There's so many things I could ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was sent to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions. Along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? What was she even doing here at the trial? She's taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself? There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. Oh, according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. Now it seems, but there were in fact 5 passengers, which means the figures don't seem to add up again. She's right, that is strange. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed to the courtroom. Trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand to testify now. I can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. No sooner up, Mr. Sato. I swear, if it's the girl from last chapter again, I'm going to be really annoyed. Yes. I think it's February, 1 p.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. Some girl next to Mr. McGilded. Look. Oh my gosh, it is her. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Well then, Lord Van Zeeks. I do believe you established the cause of the smoke which veiled proceedings earlier. It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenades, the sort typically employed by the army. Good gracious, the army? What in the devil's name? It's an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. Now occupies the stand. Your name, girl? Were you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such a pandemonium here in my court? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? If I may, my lord. Yes, Mr. McGilded. I think perhaps I ought to explain here. Why is it that this wee lass was here in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that? It's all tied up with the events of that night, so it is. Very well, Mr. McGilded, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then Baroga, that done in a wee scream, woke me up with a fair start. There was a fellow collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I set him up on the seat across from me. Then I tried to find where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus. Is that correct? Just exactly as the defense counsel said. This last was the passenger, my lord. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. Oh, jeez, we still only have 3 points.
Hold it!
When you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty and there was no one on the roof deck either. You were the first passenger, as it were, I see. Aye, that's why I took the backside as it did. Tis the most comfortable, so tis. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means, tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite to the one in which the poor gentleman was stabbed, who was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, tis the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well.
Hold it!
A loud thud, you say? And a scream? Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? Just like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think that it was the sound of his reason falling to the floor having been stabbed? Excuse me for yawning. No, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so no, I wouldn't like to say. The sound woke me and I opened my eyes. There wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fellow on the floor. You didn't see anyone? In that same moment, you did hear a scream. Ah, from the seats above me, you on the roof deck, I presume? Not above me, no, my lord. Just from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was just stunned by the desperate sight before my eyes. Fell collapse on the floor and my face is
Hold it!
cross for me. You set him up? The victim, you mean? That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said. I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. You wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor, or now would you? Just common courtesy, so it is. I find that a little hard to believe. Ah, Lord Van Zeeks, now why would that be? You need to find a man lying dead at your feet, eating the carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any outstanding member of London society, that is. Well now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone was thankful for the help I offered them. Some would even see me as dead. So to try, where at all possible, and to avoid getting myself into a tangled trouble. Are you suggesting you were just going to leave them hand there? But it's alive, no. I was always intending to report it, so it was. Only I had a mind to find out the whys and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores? Right you are. There are some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. the wee scream I heard, for example? Wouldn't your good self do just the same? Yes, the scream he says he heard at the same time. That was the victim collapsing. I had to find out who it was myself.
Hold it!
I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage but yourself and the victim. So I did, sir. Sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Oh no, it's just a queer thing. The wee scream I heard as I woke up. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside. Good gracious. Under your backside? When I looked at this meat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee copy hold there for storage. Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the bus ourselves, remember? Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence, and we've already seen the cubby hole that he's talking about. This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside. That's when I found her.
Hold it!
Okay, we'll just press everything. If it cycles, it cycles. See, she was hiding to herself. Aye, that's right. Just hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, my heart nearly stopped beating in my chest. Wait a minute, how was she able to get underneath? Because if he was sitting there, oh my gosh. You're really overreacting to this. Still not all, I pulled her out from under there. And sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chin wag with her. Seat opposite? That's right, just next to the dead gentleman. You set this young girl next to a corpse, sir? So here's the confusing thing to me about this. Open the door, go inside, blah blah blah. What? That's something I didn't see before. That's blood, isn't it? Is something wrong? It's just, this blood stain is so obvious. That's all. Yet Vinziques made no mention of it. I suppose it does seem a little strange. I have such a bad feeling about this. Yeah, so if he's sitting on here, I know I'm supposed to be defending this guy, but if he's sitting on here, nothing in here. Wait, there was stuff in here before. Wait, what's going on? There was definitely stuff in here before. So, anyway, as I was saying, I was supposed to be defending this guy, but if he was sitting here, and the victim was here, if the girl had stabbed him, the victim, how did she manage to get underneath there? You said this young girl next to a corpse, sir? Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream, a fellow's voice this time. Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats. My jaw again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, you must have seen this young girl and gentleman with the knife in his belly. A other words, the previous witnesses did not, in fact, see you at all, Mr. McGilden. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was, in fact, this girl and the late Mr. Mason? Aye, my lord. I think everyone understands now, sat in the back of the carriage, out of sight. Certainly is plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and directly confused, perhaps, with this young girl. After that, of course, with the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses. Thank you. I've heard enough. The events as explained, are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who was the girl? Her name is Tina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, really even people their purses. She's a thief. It's commonly called a pickpocket. What? This girl here? A petty thief? Ordar! Ordar! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question. How dare you? What is the meaning of this? Ah! The girl! She's gone! Open your eyes! I'm over here! Open your eyes! I'm over here! I can't do it. Open your eyes! I'm over here! What was the point in that little sidestep? I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, what you'll say, slip up and caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gem. Go on, that's what's in your heads, ain't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast. Lady, I have a katana. Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. Let me guess, you don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs? Oh, this? Yeah, this was our bag I looked the other day. I'm down with it. You keep the four-wheel drags. It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink the best. Do not wave that thing in my direction again. So, you admit that you were riding the omnibus on the night in question? It's alright, Tass. You can tell them the truth now. Alright, yeah. It's just what the Irishman said. The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened on the omnibus on the night in question. Alright, if I have to. So I stuck inside the cars before we looked up the horses, just like always. Oh, I don't waste of time. Got nothing to show me troubles that night. I'll tell you. You can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. After a while, I heard this loud bang. Nearly jumped down my skin, you did. And the scream just came out. It's because of that the swell found me. He did let me get away, Brian. Yes, he let you go. I fail to understand why you would let the street urchin go, Mr. McGilded. Oh, it's simplicity itself, my lord. I see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? As I'm sure I said before, sir. I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for. This is where I was sitting that night. And the cubby hole of which you've spoken is underneath this seat, I presume? Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature. Aye, but of course, the wee lass was stuck in there. Because I parked myself on the seat for the duration. Ah. So you see, that's why it's the last bolt. Now that the police found her there, they automatically assumed she'd done it. I couldn't live myself if her young life was ruined, and all the time I knew she was innocent. Though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question. Bro, what is this guy fucking talking about? So does that mean there's a sixth person? Not at all, my lord, not at all. I know in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought, I'd try taking upon to my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass. My goodness! What a perfect gentleman. My lord! This is a fine example of a man cannot be. This fine example of a man cannot possibly go see a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir. With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time. Saints alive! Well, since members of the jury are consensual and they're leaning to a verdict of not guilty? Mr. Laravaldo, it must mean... It must mean what? That we're victorious! No, not yet. We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
I wholeheartedly agree with this. If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourtesy. Why iron heels? I would understand the toe. This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, is his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole is the witness input, but it was included in their investigation. The compartment under the posterior was full of the coachman's belongings, noted in black and white here in the police report. Good lord! The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. Gilded's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, I thought that was weird. We definitely saw a whole bunch of stuff underneath the seat. What? That's literally on you, Ryunosuke. It's literally on you not apparently having the memory of a goldfish. Order! Order! Look at such a devious good primates possibly have affected the council. Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Nipponese friend. Huh? Me? And the carriage was submitted as evidence. Doubtless you examined it in fine detail, as would any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead, tell the court now, fella. About how this is inherent excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zeeks. Counsel, do you have something to say on this matter? How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat of the omnibus? It wasn't empty. We looked, we saw. I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense, but as far as I remember at least. When I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes. Oh, are you sure, counsel? R.I.P. Whist! What are you saying now, you dark doll? I thought you were on my side here. What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position? Because it's the truth. As an advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. Interesting. 'Tis not altogether pleasing, fella. I'm simply telling the truth, Mr. McGilden. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interest here, lad. Now then. A fellow's memory is a curious thing and not altogether reliable. No, the court must consider the facts. That there can be no under the seat is empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interest to admit now that you might have been mistaken? Why? Why do I feel like something's not right here? I should let the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. That compartment is designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of a carriage. The Guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo, isn't that irresponsible? The money-lending fleets and the picked press are lying. Ah! I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers, nothing but cowards, the lot of them. What? Oh no. It's a trick. Of course it's a trick. Are they really all flipping their vote? Quite so, I concur. They're really all flipping their vote because I was honest. What? With calm and calculated reason, clearly at any time. Yes, but every time a different truth, it seems. Thank goodness it was only 3. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, counsel. Before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Oh, yeah. Okay. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please. Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted, almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem. Holy crap. Stuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses. Just like always. So you're already in the omnibus before it even set off on its run? Oh yeah, I mean, what's the one to spend a Joey to make a few bob, eh? That's a real idea, isn't it? Especially if this isn't point in spending money to make money. It actually makes sense. Counsel, may I remind you that the girl is a petty thief? Probably for entertaining her tenants. And that does clear up the little mystery of the fares and all. 4 paying passengers at 5 pence apiece, making 20 to which the cabman testified. One little skate is riding for free. The red cock of a truck, it always goes for some grunt before his last run, see? That's why I slip into the carriage and get myself in under the seat. Nice and easy, right? No hiding places, a storage compartment full of equipment for the coach. No. Yeah, there's brushes and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram into in a corner somewhere. No one ever seems to bother much. And yet, according to the report filed by the police officer who first arrived at the scene, the department was full of such paraphernalia. I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, I'm with all that stuff outside and the seat. That's all I can tell you. Okay, I'm sorry, I cannot do her accent and maintain like a teenage voice. It seems we've reached the end of that line of inquiry. Continue. Waste of time.
Hold it!
Oh, waste of time? Why is that? Well, they'll find some on me on it in got one permit at least some other time. I beg your pardon, did you say got permit? Oh yeah, well, that's what my cane called it. It's in the omnibus, I suppose. Point is, I need no more on carriage ain't got no one in it for a while. And that's when you come out of your hiding place and get away. That's it. Only that night. This cove was set on me from the seat from the start. I didn't budge the whole way, did he? Not 1 inch. I was totally stuck. You mean to tell us you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while the events unfolded in the enclosed cabin. Yeah, right, mister? To be sure. Oh, to be sure. I was as shocked as anyone. Oh, you don't expect me to leave the cushion. You don't expect me to lift the cushion to be sat on and find a child, do you? So this Mr. Strad couldn't possibly be the culprit, then. Couldn't say a blind thing.
Hold it!
You couldn't see out into the cabin at all. John, most days I push the cushion up with me end and look out the crack. Then I can have a butcher. Also, who I'm gonna fiddle? I thought you were a pickpocket, not a butcher. I mean, I can have a look. See, I get on nine. It was push as the other one, see? So most of the time, the passengers find themselves opposite. That's in direct contradiction to what he said. For some reason that night, as the Irishman spent the whole journey night right over me aid. For that reason, you weren't able to push the cushion up to peek out, I see. Truth is, I ain't too happy in small dark places. Feels too much like being thrown in the clink. That's the only place I hide in the carriages, so it's Hobson's choice. Why doesn't she just stick to picking people's pockets in the open? I'd say there's some reason she's not letting on. I'd say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor. So anyways, I'm a little bit scared, but I had to just stick out on that. Nothing else for it.
Hold it!
When you say a loud bang, do you mean the noise of someone falling to the floor? Could have been, suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. You let out a scream involuntarily? That's right. And I felt the cushion over my head get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably when the defendant got up in order to help the victim, yes. Or not. He could have equally been the moment the accused stood in order to stab his victim, could it not? No, we've already covered that he was stabbed from the other's seat, right? Well, girl, did you see what happened to that crucial moment? Yeah, I saw it. I pushed up the cushion out of the butcher's while I had the chance, didn't I? The Irishman was sitting up the bottom. What had fallen on the seat opposite. And that's just Mr. McGilden's account, of course. But I thought it. The federal son jumps around and looks right at me. I sucked back down at him, but it was too late, I never should have just looked again. It's because of that. This swell found me. He didn't help me get away, mind.
Hold it!
And when Mr. McGildy discovered you, he pulled you out from your hiding place? I was scared stiff, I was. He dragged me out and sat me on the seat and all. This is the victim, Mr. Mason. Yeah, he broke out a knife in his guts. He was still bleeding. But then the carriage lurched a bit, and he ended up falling onto me. Ugh, how awful. But me, I just got covered in blood. Made me feel sick as a dog. Both her hands covered in blood. That must be what the rooftop passengers saw. After that, I believe you taught him, Mr. McGillen, for a while. Is that correct? He asked me some stuff. I didn't know my name and what I was up to and all that. I heard something from above. Someone screamed. Yes, Mr. First on the roof deck, I wanted to presume. And I didn't want no one seeing me face, so I didn't look up. And the horses were drawn out smartish, and this Irishman says to me, "Get back under the seat. I'll see that you can get away later." All 6 members of the jury decided the defendant was innocent. For a brief shining moment, yes. It's clear that they're all still very unsure. If we could just find some conclusive piece of evidence among this new testimony, I'm sure we could clinch the verdict we want. Yeah, you're right. I think I have this feeling. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. I need to press again.
Hold it!
I need to figure out what... got out the defendant, or not the defendant, got out the victim. See what happened. She claims she saw it. Seat opposite. Whoops. I did not mean to do that. I meant to... This is fine. I don't think this blood was there earlier, right? Yeah, because look, this blood here is very clearly darker than this blood. Hold on. Oh, we don't have a picture of the floor, do we? Hold on. I have this feeling. Something's bothering me, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Hold it!
Just want to spend the money to make money.
Excuse me.
mind when you heard that last statement. Seems not for you I asked.
Hold it!
So they want me to present something here, but I don't know.
Well, no. Excuse me.
Gotcha! Something wrong, Mr. McGilded? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Council? Also, why didn't this pop up last time I pressed at this point? I just wondered if Lestrade's last comment made something occur to you, perhaps. You seem to be thinking something to yourself. Oh, no. Just nothing important. I feel bad for the poor lass's all. I remember feeling desperate myself as a young lad shut up in the dark. 'Twas terrifying, so 'twas. I see, yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm so scared of the dark now. And I don't know about yourself. I find that the darkness seems to make everything you seem that much louder as well. Yeah. I suppose it does. Yeah. I suppose it does. Maybe. Miss Lestrade, did you hear something that night? Anything? An unusual noise, perhaps? No, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. But yappers, there's no need to tell the whole world to be foibles, you little scamp. What a pity. If only Miss Lestrade had heard something, it might have given us a vital new clue. Yes, what should we make of that last statement of hers? Oh! She heard the thud, right? My lord, I believe the statement made by the last witness is profoundly important. Profoundly important? But all she said was that she heard nothing. Yes, which is the profoundly important point. I'm almost sure of it. I'm almost sure that I don't understand the inner workings of your Eastern Mind Council. Nevertheless... Miss Gina Lestrade, you will supplement your formal testimony by repeating that last statement, please. What? Supplement? What are you on about? Don't give me all your fancy talk. I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me. That's right, insulting judge. Always a good move. So work out what was going on, but all that she could hear was snoring.
Hold it!
So you were straining to hear what was happening the entire time? Since the moment you hid yourself? Not exactly, no. Sorry? There was no one in the cabin to start with. I could just push the cushion up and down the butchers to see what was what. Then when I saw it struck it on, I got the head down so you didn't notice me. So we could have sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? We don't have... It's so weird that we can't go back to the other testimonies. Yeah, would you add a leaf to it, then? What a mug.
Excuse me.
Let me ask you something, Mr. McGilded. Oh? What would that be, then, Got something to say about the last statement? No, not really. I'm altogether happy with what's been said. Kind of get to ask, considering all. Yeah, have yourself a tip. Ah! Do you think I was asking after his general well-being?
Hold it!
Trying to hear this entire time. Exactly. I almost pursued accidentally because it's the same button as the skip dialogue button. Sorry, I didn't notice me. So, and Mr. McGilded sat on the seat under which you were hiding, correct? Yeah, would you have eat it, eh? What a mug! So all I could do was listen. I was waiting to get your ass when I heard him leave, see? But why? Not likely. You always thought hearing that. I know the door open. So I had to stay put and listen to him drive in his pigs into markets. No, and the old dog he was. Are there any conclusions we can draw from that, I wonder? It doesn't add up. Miss Lestrade, what you have just told the court is clearly at odds with the facts. At odds? Are you sure, man? Absolutely. It seems my learned Japanese friend is not as dull-witted as I feared. Sir Van Six realized it, too. Counsel, I must insist that you bolster your claim with evidence, or some complicit party's name at the very least. Yes, my lord. That's what you did to demonstrate this alleged contradiction to the court. According to Miss Lestrade, while she was hiding in the omnibus that night, she heard nothing but the sound of Mr. McGild's snoring. Think, Ryunosuke, think. There's something else she should have heard. Very well, my lord. Allow me to elaborate. On a particular sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear on the night in question. The sound very clearly displayed with the presence of the following person. This guy, he screamed, right?
Take that!
What? No. Oh, the guy that she didn't hear the guy that screamed? Ugh. Well then, counsel, she should have heard. Is it that she should have heard the victim getting on the thing? Oh yeah, she was listening for the door. Very intently.
Take that!
Thrice-fired Mason? I'm stupid. Yes, my lord. The sound that Miss Lestrade could not have failed to hear is that of the victim, Mr. Mason, boarding the omnibus. Order! Order! Explain your reasoning, counsel. Miss Lestrade, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person to board the omnibus. Is that correct? Yeah, of course I was. I got home while the driver was in the pub, didn't I? And the next person to board the omnibus was Mr. McGilded. It was that someone was in the cabin when I climbed on board. At least not in plain sight. So, were you, to all intents and purposes, to all intents and purposes, alone in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus at that time? Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I saw him get on, remember? Little crack on the seat cushion. It was going on his own for sure. And from what we've heard, the carriage made a number of stops after that on its onward journey. During which time, did you not hear the door opening or closing at all? Nah, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, weren't it? Waiting for the swell to leave. In which case, when and how did the victim end up in the carriage? Ah! We know that the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Lestrade's statement about what she did or did not hear is at odds with the facts. Ah! Yes, this petty thief's statement was clearly flawed. Lord Van Zieks! Yes, he knew. He knew all too well that there was an inconsistency in Miss Lestrade's statement. It would seem words of thanks are in order for my learned friend. What are you talking about? You've demonstrated matters impeccably. This witness and her colorful statements are entirely unreliable. Her words are convenient untruths, nothing more. Is that right? I live in one of us without no language. That makes us a swear, and the school is a pickpocket. Let's not forget that. I'm here for the drama. Grandma, you don't have to be so excited about it. Arg! She didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge the dear little light just because she has some rather naughty words. But I must say, I can't abide liars. You realize madam, that fire is for the guy in the purple suit, right? And neither can I. Mr. Foreman! I don't want to judge the girl just because she has some less than salubrious words. But I must say, I cannot abide liars. Mr. That's 5 jury members leaning towards guilty. Your consideration for others is refreshing, my Nipponese friend. The considerable troubles you have spared me. Yes, very refreshing. Ah! Ah! What are you playing at? Have you forgotten who you're working for, you useless Eastern Amadan? This is carnage. It's perfect. What you say when one left? Mr. Rahuda, the way this is going. I know, if we can't find some new way to convince everyone of Mr. Gilded's innocence, the judge will have lost. I very much wanted to believe the words of one of these misrespected gentlemen, but as a villain service must we know one must accept hard truths.
Hold it!
Yes, the witness's last statement seems to have revealed a critical inconsistency in her story. However, if we consider the possibility that her statement is in fact the truth, it may shed an entirely new light on this whole case. What are you saying? Counsel? I'm sorry, sir? Whatever do you mean? Counsel, I will not tolerate your attempting to prorogue my adjudication. Please explain yourself at once. the accused boarded the omnibus on the night in question. The victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door was not heard opening a single time, as testified by the witness in the stand. Yet the victim's body was found inside the carriage. If this these words are to be believed, are you all stupid? How do you explain the victim's miraculous appearance inside the cabin of the omnibus? He entered through the skylight. Duh. There's only one way to explain how the victim came to be inside the carriage. It's another entrance. If the door wasn't opened even once, the only explanation is that the victim entered the enclosed cabin some other way. I wondered what new fantasy you would come up with in your blind panic. But behold, the omnibus is here for all to see. Only one side of the enclosed cabin furnished with a door, the other has only windows, fixed windows which cannot possibly open. In short, there's no entrance to the cabin other than the door. But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes, one other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. Alright, counsel. The defense will identify the location for this court. Here's the omnibus. Where is the entrance? It's the skylight.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight?
Objection!
Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words, however.
Objection!
The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass through.
Objection!
So you claim, but do you have a shred of evidence to support your addle-brained theory? Both Mr. McGilded and Miss Lestrade have said the same thing in their testimonies. They each claim to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise of made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained as the sound of the victim falling from his seat having been assaulted with the dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as witnesses describe? A noise loud enough to cause Miss Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact, that was the moment that the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. It is no person made mention of such events in their testimony. Yes, that's true, but... My humble fella, make a wee comment here. Mr. McGilded? To be sure now, the two fellas who were sat on the roof that testified afore said not another victim fallen from the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying, but... Aye. Them not. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would you not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Herv? Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof? You mean the ones who stuck the knife in the man were... Oh! Hold it! Double hold it. That's what are you insinuating here, you blitherer? You rotter, he said, you rotter! What are you insinuating? This is a flaming outrage. I've got a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. He'll give you a shiner in a minute, he said, and so will I! Mr. Fairplay? Fairplay. You're effectively accusing me, a city gentleman and well-respected banker. And me, a very angry hatter. Someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. It's... I protest. I protest in the strongest possible terms. That's right. I protest too. About you, you rotten scoundrel. Order! 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 This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, the Lord Van Zeeks. It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My lord has been fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to. It seems, Your Nepalese, your commanded English tongue is wanting. You proposed this to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof and deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being given aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated their criminal guilt. I guess it is intimated. In our British courts of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. I mean, we didn't accuse them of anything. However, there is this very blatant... but also significantly more new, for some reason, blood stain. I know I was rash to put the idea forward on the actual evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are we wasting time for? Get them to, testify! I thought there was something for sure with that half the moment I laid eyes on them. We have to see this matter through, one way or the other. There's nothing rubbish in our midst, we must dispose of it at once. What's happening, Mr. Naruto? Spectators and the public Mallory they're in a complete frenzy. Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. My lord, you will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. We were the only two people up on that roof, dead or alive. I can swear to that. If anything happened while we were sitting, don't you think one or the other of us would have noticed? I guess none of us was the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't have possibly opened it. If no so sure the victim fell through the skylight. Where's your proof? I must say that on listening to this testimony, it is somewhat hard to imagine how either witness could have performed any malevolent act upon this open rooftop deck without the other noticing forthwith. That's right, you see. We're innocent, I tell you. Well, logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another. What? Eh? According to investigations by Scotland Yard, the two witnesses share no common dealings. Ha! Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial's going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense, over to you. For cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. Only two dead or alive.
Hold it!
We're just gonna press everything. So, no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck? Absolutely not. Oh, I have to keep an eye on everyone? Jeez. No question about it. He said, not at all. Oh, yeah, but yes, of course, I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with this man here. This is true, Mr. McGilden. What do you mean, my lord? At the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. It's an outright lie. Without a doubt, you were engaged in... Just stop me there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? Ah. Just a lot of evidence against these sorties. You do well to remember that. Oh, I saw you with my own eyes! This is going so well.
Hold it!
Well, it wasn't the final room of the omnibus that past 10 o'clock in the evening. It's only been quite dark. Perhaps it's too dark to see clearly. Is this some kind of a lock? This is some kind of a joke, he said. Is that what this is? Perhaps one of the other two fell asleep briefly? Are you fair dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible. You. I compare the case to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold.
Excuse me!
Mr. First. Oh, how can I help you, sir? Oh, I see. Trouble you in some way? Oh, I'm not particularly okay. Okay, yeah. It's the you thought you saw something, but you didn't.
Hold it!
Okay, let's continue with the press. Sorry. Some kind of lark, blah blah blah. Yes, it was a joke. I'm sure your heart will just first shut you never open them again. That's extreme. It was extreme, I tell you, and we had to put up with this because this man had locked the door. A true gentleman unlocked it, put me in when I knocked. I am dreadfully sorry about that young fella, but you see, I was away with the fairies and didn't hear you at all. That's a lie! I saw you through the glass! You were talking to someone! No, no, 'twas a cold night, so 'twas. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the world. It's hardly surprising. Seeing things! Seeing things! Pardon me, I'm dying. I'm dying slightly. I believe we've reached an impasse on here on this particular point. You! Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then it's just only fair that you and your other fiend are too. Open and free competition is what a capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition I should like to be involved in, really.
Hold it!
So you've never met Thrice Fried Mason before? Oh, no, man, no, not once, never. He never met the man before, he said, never. And you, Mr. First, you had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. Hatters don't have much to do with brickmakers, to be perfectly honest, sir. No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? No, I don't know.
Well, no. Excuse me.
Mr. McGilligan? Yes, Counsel. What can I be doing for you? The witness's last statement gave you pause for thought somehow. Not in the remotest connection? Is that right now? I wonder. What are you insinuating now? Oh, Mr. Fairby. It has been too long, so it has. Eh? If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe 'tis fast approaching, Stunt. Your repayment date. I beg your pardon? You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. Well, now, is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a person to pass off his crimes to another? Nerd! Ah, you're Mr. First. Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? Do you be making hats for a living, do you not? That there top hat sliding about on your head. Is that one of your own creations, is it? Oh, I'm still just an apprentice, you understand. I'm learning to find the perfect fit for where the ever-fine jet vaults through the door. The perfect fit, is it? Well, it is a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you. They like a distinctive touch. The distinctive touch of constantly falling off of your head? Customers. Such as thrice-fired Mason? Ah! There's a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence of harm, my lord. Oh, huh. This you mean? I can't help but thinking that for the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, wouldn't he say? Oh. That's one of my hats. Aye, that it is. So it would seem the brickmaker was a customer of yours. That sort of customary waiter that you would have had a quarrel over, with the distinctiveness of the goods. But why would he be wearing that hat, then? Oh no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there's really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellows here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case. You little weasel. Arrgh! He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. McGilden has been thorough in his research. He's certainly been thorough in his research, hasn't he? Please don't let me interrupt and hold up the proceedings.
Hold it!
So, continue with what you were saying. Not once. You had no prior dealings with the victim. That's right. No, I'm actually not. No modus connection. About motive, they had none. Motive and, well, it's not. Okay.
Hold it!
Are you quite certain about that? That skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. I mean, we'll just get an exclamation point and a sound cue. He's going to lose his ride with you in a minute, that's what he said. Take a look for yourself. Go on. See? It's shut fast now like it was on the night. What is, of course, the fellow of a man of a size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it and still fall. What? Just look at the size of it, you understand. Now you all hold there a minute. I said the ting means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting our cane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when I broke wind loudly. I shot myself with it as it happens. This is an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Oh, I only just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see. But just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. And the stench was terrible. He was looking daggers at me, sir, and as red as rouge. I did. I must have misread that as rogue. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh, no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I tried and tried when I was...
That ain't... Excuse me!
You have something to say about that, Miss Lestrade? After I fix my audio, preferably. This YouTube's getting an update in fucking real time, minute by minute. Miss Lestrade. Hey, Diggs, how's it going? Sorry, I've been distracted trying to puzzle this out. It opens. The skylight. The skylight. That's what we're talking about, right? Oh, the skylight's open. Dead easy. Worries that then you can load that weapon? What? That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, I can't do it from the inside, you mug. Oh, yeah, we saw a freaking latch and handle. What is wrong with you people? Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof of deck of one of them drags, and I had a great haul. I mean, I had buses coming up my ears. Miss Lestrade, this is not the form to be eulogizing on the subject of your criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted up the last boat's price, it got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't book the bus and leg it. What I did was I used the skylight, opened the catch, and jumped right through it. What? Yeah, the catch from the skylight is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck? We saw this so long ago. And I tried even interacting with the handle. Bailiff! Climb up on the roof from the omnibus at once and verify the witness's claims. Wow, the handle that I tried interacting with like an hour ago. Ah! On my hat! See? Anyone who has working eyes could have, and has been up there and paid the slightest bit of attention, could have seen that. Ordar! 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 So it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens, and from the roof deck. Mr. Naralda! This could be the clue we've been looking for. Well, counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate for myself. Okay, so if we... So the skylight was fastened so far. Well, the catch has been allowed to be able to open it. Oh, let's open the door and go inside. It's, you know, a murder, blah, blah, blah. I'm hoping this is correct. So first we look up. Can't find anything out of place. Oh! Please don't make me go through the scene. I have to go through the scene every time, because... It's blood, something wrong. This thing is so obvious, but hasn't been mentioned it. Do I have to examine the open skylight now? You've certainly seen some of the characters with the second list for sure. Now I've been closed, so we can see quite clearly. Well, what they're trying to get at is that the blood lines up with the opening in the skylight down here, I'm certain. And I guess it is possible that I just completely missed this blood stain here, but I wasn't aware I could look down at the time. The problem that I'm having is I can't get the characters to acknowledge it in-game. Wait. Blood. This doesn't open very wide. Why not to get someone like you through? Certainly, Mr. Naruto. Why would someone like me? Ah! What is that? Look! Just there! Look at this! That's, without a question, it's blood! It's blood! Why would there be a blood stain there? Surely, it can't be unrelated to the case, can it? There we go. The scene of the crime, there's a blood stain visible on the frame of the skylight when it's open. And now I don't even need to press the net statement. I will just...
Hold it!
For the sake of doing so, though. Prove. That's right, I demand to hear it. Oops. We came here until what we saw. I tell you not for this. What you call us both shirkers, brand us criminal. You call us liars, that's what he means, and you accuse us of doing it. As it stands at the moment. There's no hard evidence that incriminates yourselves now, is there? I believe we're in much the same position as one another here. Arrgh! I don't crack this case soon, he'll crack his teeth. I mean, he's definitely gonna crack his teeth anyway once I I don't really know anything about them. Although, by the same token, I don't know anything about Mr. McGilded either, so it's hard to know. I don't remember seeing that bloodstain when we walked in initially, and that blood definitely is like a brighter red and looks more... It looks newer than the blood on the seat. Alright. Proof that he fell through... Oh, I had to press E and then R.
Objection!
On the night in question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach, and immediately afterwards, the victim's body was pushed through the skylight into the cabin below. Those are the facts, and the irrefutable proof remains clearly visible on the omnibus that stands before us today in this very courtroom. What? That's utter humbug! You can't possibly have any evidence. No, you can't. I mean, we didn't do it, I tell you. It's impossible. Irrefutable proof here in this courtroom? Counsel? My lord. I believe everyone would appreciate a little clarification here. Where exactly within the omnibus is this evidence that you allude to? You will point out what proves the victim fell through the roof deck in the skylight. What? I did already. Oh my gosh. Why I had to point this out even though I got the court record update. That's so silly. Okay, I'm gonna put it like right here. Hopefully that's good enough.
Got it!
By Jupiter, is that blood? Arg! This bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of this omnibus was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my! And so it follows that Mr. McGilded, who was inside the enclosed cabin himself at the time, cannot possibly be guilty of this crime. No! I can't do two voices at once. It's not physically possible. Ordar! Ordar! Ordar!
Hold it!
But the blood could have been sprayed up there when the fellow was stabbed inside the cabin. And only found its way to that particular spot on the skylight? Sure, and that would be very convenient. Ah. Well, just keep in mind the skylight can only be unfastened from the roof deck. I myself wouldn't have been able to open it now, would I? But, there's no way to know for certain, is there? If the chip really fell through the skylight, I mean. Why don't you have a good look at the floor of the cabin between the two seats, Mr. First? It's all too plain if you see. There's the aftermath that shows the poor fellow dropped from a fair height right there, so it is. What? No! But it can't be. It's all lies! My fellow jury members, I think we can all agree that this is clear proof of the defendant's innocence, can't we? I believe we can. Yeah, sir. It's clear to me now where the filthy rubbish can be found in this courtroom. So, they thought they could pull the wool over my eyes, did they? I won't tolerate any of the guild's characters being sullied with blood. I won't tolerate it. Oh, I always knew that nice gentleman who gave us that delightful park couldn't have done such a thing. On three then, everyone. 1, 2, 3!
Objection!
A chilling performance, Mr. McGilded. And what would you be referring to now, Lord Van Zeeks? A blood stain on the frame of the skylight. Such evidence is null and void. What? Why? Because it wasn't there, right? For one extremely simple reason. That smear of blood never existed. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, we looked over it to begin with. That's why I didn't remember seeing it.
Objection!
Before the, like, break. I'm glad I continued this. I would not have remembered this tomorrow, I don't think. What are you talking about? It's there for all to see. It's clearly blood, and it's also clearly a significantly brighter red than the blood on the seat.
Objection!
So for those that don't know, when blood is oxygenated, it has a bright red hue. Basically, when blood is more fresh, I guess it would depend on whether it came out of a vein or an artery, but most of the time, when the fresher a blood stain is, the brighter color it is, because oxygen is still present in the blood. The older blood stains are darker color because the hemoglobin that binds the oxygen has, like, and the red blood cells have died and they're no longer, like, providing, like, the hemoglobin is no longer binding oxygen, and that's what causes it to become darker. I personally attended Scotland Yard's investigation of the omnibus. The officers involved went over the carriage with a fine-toothed comb. So I can say with absolute surety, no such smear of blood existed in the carriage. Now, we weren't able to look at that before, so we would not actually know, but at least not until this trial began. But, are you suggesting, Lord Van Zeeks, that this stain of blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes, and while this court has been in session. What? What a palaver. Yeah, I don't remember. Like I said, the blood is clearly older. I must say, it's such crude reasoning from a prosecutor of your standing, Lord Van Zeeks. Zykes. But I'm Magnus Gilded, a fellow all over the capital for his fine contributions to public life. I don't take kindly to this slander, and I'll fight it to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling off the tongue of the Reaper of Bailey. Mr. McGilded, I realize this is your first appearance in court as the accused. However, I am well aware of your involvement behind the scenes of a great many affairs of dubious nature. You're very adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens, the case you are involved is investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts? What does that even mean? When you wield a fortune the size of Mr. McGill's, however ill-gotten it may be, nothing is impossible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of a crime, bribing witnesses. I toast to your ability to concoct the most convenient of stories, sir. Tut, Lord Van Zeeks. This will not do, to be sure. But now, counsel. Huh? Oh, no. I think it's fair to say. This all does sound like a rather far-fetched excuse by a desperate man. Blood on the skylight didn't exist, you say? But if you will all cast your minds back, it's not true that the omnibus there's been in the courtroom the entire time. How could anyone possibly put a smear of blood in it without the world and his wife seeing? When the smoke screen happened. Isn't that right now, counsel? It's true. omnibus has been in full view the entire time the court has been in session. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion on this matter in your own words. As you wish. Could someone have tampered with the omnibus during this trial? If you're asking me, I think it could have been possible. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate for the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as though there's something even more important at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest the defendant did as my learned friend suggests. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out alleged tampering, there is one possibility. Oh, good gracious! Explain yourself, counsel. Yes, there is. It seems my learned Nipponese friend has no intention of running from this deceit. Deceit? I'm sure everyone still remembers clearly the recess that we were forced to take. As a result of the smoke grenade fired by the witness currently in the stand, Miss Gina Lestrade. What is going on? Be careful, Mr. Naru. Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo. We'll cover your face. Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call for an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. In that brief interval, under the veil of smoke and in all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside the omnibus. Are you wise? What are you trying to pull, ye rotten, feckless gouger? Feckless gouger? I'm doing this for free. What are you talking about? You're supposed to be defending me. 'Tis a wicked plot. 'Tis a plot to undermine me, Sotis. Whatever you think this is, it changes nothing. The facts are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier as a result of the smoke grenade, a number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as... To start with, the storage compartment underneath the rear passenger seat. When the police investigated the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, we have the smeared blood on the edge of the skylight and in the floor. As I have said, that was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, Lord Von Zeeks, no one is able to corroborate your claims. That's true. When the omnibus was first put up, both the storage compartment and the skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with any certainty if this evidence is the result of tampering or not. That's not true. I looked at it. I looked at it immediately. Not the skylight, because I didn't have the option, but I tried. Indeed, my lord. No doubt there was not a single person who saw fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry? About the omnibus? Is there anything else unusual about the omnibus? I have an inkling. My lord. Yes, counsel? There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the start of the trial. What? What in the devil's name are you going to say now? If you dare betray me, you little maggot, you'd better be certain to watch your back. Silence, Gilded. The court awaits the defense's clarification. This trial keeps swinging one way and then the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? I shall have to ask you to elaborate, counsel. What is that this alleged mark you claim appeared at some point during the trial? This fucking one right here. The giant-ass blood stain. Conveniently directly below the skylight. That is also way fresher than this blood right here. Anyway, let's put have the cursor on the correct one. If we consider that the victim fell through the skylight onto the floor of the cabin, you would certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But as far as I can recall, this blood stain on the cabin floor was not there when the omnibus was first brought into the courtroom. Good lord! Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Well said. Although, as advocate for the defense, one might say that was a very careless slip of the tongue. Hey, I'm after the truth here, dude. I believe that blood stain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence. But if the question is whether or not that evidence is genuine or whether it was unlawfully fabricated by someone, I feel compelled to admit that there's at least a possibility that the evidence is fake. This trial is over. Mr. McGilded? You've done everything you possibly could and to cooperate with the court, but 'tis all over now. But you're the defendant. 'Tis over, I tell ye! Memory, recollection, what people think they saw. 'Tis all a nonsense. Facts are what counts, and the fact is that bloodstain is there. Now! Well... over the course of this desperate trial, long and extremely drawn out as it has been, that good-for-nothing Reaper of the Bailey has failed to present any decisive evidence at all. I'm scandalized, so I am. I'd thought better of Lord Van Zeeks. Well, my lord? I must concur with the defendant. The unaffirmed recollections of an individual cannot stand as evidence. At this moment in time, the particular blood stain in question is very much in existence. In the absence of any credible method by which to prove its alleged previous non-existence, I regret to say that it would be improper for this trial to continue. Your lordship, you can't be serious. Lord Van Zeus, what is your position? The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In that case, I believe we have explored every possible avenue in this matter. I shall proceed with my adjudication. As a formality, I am of course obliged to confirm with the defense first. What formality? As it stands at the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGilded will be found not guilty. Yes, which would mean we've won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is it really alright for the trial to come to an end now with all these unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please. Never really addressed the knife, right? Yes, my lord. The defense believes... I am here in this courtroom today to advocate for the defense of my client, Mr. McGilded. However, at this moment in time, I cannot in all good conscience attest fully to the defendant's innocence. What are you saying, man? Without any question, there's no conclusive evidence to prove that the defendant is guilty. However, there is also no conclusive evidence to prove that he is innocent. Good gracious me! Order! Order! This is unprecedented behavior, counsel. A defense lawyer calling the accused's innocence into question? Are you of sound mind? Oh, it was a grand decision to appoint you as my lawyer, so it was a grand decision. What? I must say, I didn't expect quite such an exciting spectacle at the end there, but still. Here, have this for your troubles. Ah! Your job here is done, fella. And some fine work you've done so far. So you have. What do you mean? Tis just as the right honourable gentleman so succinctly put it before. The trial can't go on anymore. And your closing statement there was, how did he put it now? Nothing more than a formality. I really don't know what to make of all this. Was the evidence we've seen genuine, or was it fake? His lordship would be fuming. The uncertain rubbish should be disposed of promptly, as I said. The stinking withdrawal is guilty of something. You mark my words! If you don't believe me, I never doubted that lovely man who gave us the lovely bulk. Now that the proceedings have unfolded in this way, I am compelled to declare a premature end to this trial. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you kindly, my lord. I hereby pronounce the verdict of this court.
Objection!
But we still haven't determined if the bloodstain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't know if these witnesses are telling the truth or a pack of lies. We have no idea about the truth. Lord Van Zeeks, my lord, the case made by the prosecution was flawed, plain and simple. Indeed, the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with. The prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgraceful perversion of justice to take place. My sincerest apologies, my
Objection!
But wait! When we were evacuated from the courtroom, Lord Van Zeeks ordered the evidence to be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibility in this manner. That's so unfair! The culpability of the defendant has not at present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will not be required to prefer judgment. What? Well, Lord Van Zeeks, it's been a pleasure, so it has. As for you, my dear fella, I couldn't have asked for a better defense. Do you mean to tell me this is a little grand waiting to waste time? No, just the law of the land, my good man. If you'd like to pursue the matter further, you can always go ahead and try to change the law. Magnus gilded. Grief, you've got more to say? Let me have ye. Just one thing, a warning. This is far from over. Well, something to be looking forward to then. hereby pronounce the defendant, Magnus McGilded, not guilty. I can't believe it. This is an outrage. They should have been sending the evidence more. What are you talking about? The man's been cleared. He's innocent. Courtroom in pandemonium for the second time that day, the judge delivered his verdict. And my first ever trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty, ostensibly a victory for us. February, 5:14 p.m., the Old Bailey defendant's antechamber. I missed the inverted version where it said February 18th or whatever, but I guess this is supposed to be UK, so. That certainly was a long trial, not compared to the last one. We're only at 5 hours. The last one was 6.5. Ah. Yes, it was. Your first ever trial on foreign soil and your first victory. It was a wonderful performance. My heartfelt congratulations. And to you too, Miss Sato. Thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what actually happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But isn't it wrong? I mean, who actually was responsible for Mr. Mason's death? We don't even know that. The sole aim of the defense attorney is to obtain a verdict that exonerates the defendant. You carried out your duty to perfection. Aye, that you did. Mr. McGilded. And that girl's with him too. It seems the stories are true. Oh? Oh, what stories? About this enormous fireworks they do be letting off when there's a verdict of not guilty. I'm sure you must have seen them by now. Spectacular, wouldn't you say? Yes, definitely. I'd heard it was a sight to behold, and to be sure it was. And I've you to thank for, I suppose, for having an opportunity to see it. I don't know about that. I'm not so sure I really did anything. What on earth are you saying, Bella? How did I walk out of there a free man, then? I don't think it was so much sense to me as down to your planning. You're a straight-talking fella, aren't you? I must say, you had me astray in the head once or twice. But you're young and headstrong. 'Tis water under the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGilded, on having your name cleared. But nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh? Aye! You've all seen that I didn't do that odious and obstinate deed. 'Tis grand, is it not? Grand enough to break my audio at in the 11th hour? I suppose it is. Now the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can take matters in hand and sort out any wee details. They'll see it for what it is. They'll get to the truth. I have absolute faith in them, so I have. After all, I do be providing a good number of their wages with all the taxes I pay. Eat the rich. It's not that funny. So then, as we agreed aforehand, 1,000 guineas for your chocolates, fella. Oh, no, I couldn't possibly accept that much. Oh, be whist! You're a humble people, are ye? You from the east? Well, if you insist. Have this, still and all. You deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus McGilded. Everything's ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom? What's this, officer? Just something that I was led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tries now. It's time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? I want to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I was asked if I could be present for it myself. They're going to examine it again? Now? Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any of this matter now. I was not a member of London society. I do be doing my best to help where I can. Tis a gentleman's duty, so it is. So then, fare thee well. It was an absolute pleasure meeting you. I hope you have a whale of a time when you're studying here in Great Britain. And there he goes, a free man. Oh, I forgot she was here too. Don't move! Whereas I want to say get a move on, she really does take forever to load that thing. Miss Lestrade, would you mind putting that thing down? You're a grown-up! Sorry? And I ain't all grown-ups! Oh, there you are. Naughty, naughty, running off like that. Oh, is this... Wait. She has the same gauntlets as, Herlock Sholmes. Is this some kind of picnic? Who's this little girl now? I'm taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial on my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ah! Oh, do you want to play? You won't beat me. Excuse me, but who are you? Oh, good day to you. I'm, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine. The inventor? Well, normal smoke grenades are so dull, don't you agree? White, white, and more white. If you had to be shrouded in smoke, it could at least be a pretty color, I thought to myself. You had to be shrouded in smoke, though? At all? She turned my eyes off for a moment whilst changing it onto a different omnibus, and she pinched it. Luckily, I fit it with a telegraphic beacon. What's it? What? I had no idea what this girl was talking about. Anyway, you're coming with me now, back to my laboratory. What? What for? To apologize, of course, silly, to my technician. What? You mean say sorry? You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? I don't listen to no adults. Come on then, follow me. Fine, have it your way. Oh good, you see. Yeah, I knew you'd want to do the right thing in the end. I'm fairly sure that what she wants to do is not get shot by that massive gun of yours. The small pink-haired one has an RPG for some reason. We'll be leaving then. Bye-bye. I'm so sorry for all the fuss. She was a lively one. Well, do you think perhaps we ought to be on our way to now too? Yeah, you're right, but where to? Oh! We haven't had time to find a place to stay. No sooner than we arrived in London than we had to rush here. And our traveling cases are still with the bailiff. What's original plan to spend today in search of lodgings? This late that hour in the day, I'm afraid we maybe not have luck. Don't worry though, I have a plan. For some source, I've heard of a lovely park where we could spend the night. Please tell me about the Gildan Park. I know it may be a little chilly this time of year, but our youthfulness will see us through. I'm not so sure about that. I think a midwinter London night will freeze a young person solid just as easy as an elderly one. Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable. I'm starting to regret turning Mr. McGilded down. 1,000 guineas would have planned for a lovely warm room or a mansion. And so, the trial to determine my worthiness for the study tour was over by the end of our first day in London. However, as we were soon to learn, there were more trying times ahead, just as the Reaper Bailey had warned. The case was far from over. Oh, is this just going immediately into the next episode?
Bring water, quick! What the? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating. No. Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
This can't be.
Is it the blonde dude? And end of the episode, and I guess that's where we're gonna pick up next time. Interesting little cliffhanger to end off on. Alright, I will see you all tomorrow on stream. For YouTube, this is a little bit of a shorter episode than normal, but I mean, I've been pacing these like when we hit a to be continued screen, that's when I end the recording. So yeah, I'll see you all stream. I will see you all tomorrow. YouTube, I will see you in the next part. Alright, have a good night.